It's your boy DJ Gio. We back with another episode of Microwave, powered by SC Top 20. We want to shout out Volume TV, man, for giving us this opportunity, blessing this platform with a lot of artists from the Carolinas and all over. Once again, the team been working real hard. As you can see, we got brand new visuals and everything for y'all. Alright, next up in the booth, we got an artist from Greenville, South Carolina, goes by the name of Dontel. Follow him on Instagram at The Real Dontel. Check him out, man. The boy got some fire, so you know I ain't the one to waste time. Let's go.
Here's that Carolina.
SC Top 20, what's up? I go by the name of Dontel. I guess I'm here to rap, you know. Look, I just want the money, y'all can have the fame. I just want respect and everybody know the name. Dontel, bustin' through hell. To all y'all new rappers, this is a farewell. My competition won't stop and listen. My position is not my proposition. They hoping and wishing I don't pop up in they mentions. Like, damn, that bitch is adding me. Damn, that bitch is adding me. This is how it had to be. I just had these fantasies and flip them to reality. Now I'm getting fans and making niggas switch their strategy. Heard they mad at me, bro, we not the same anatomy. Driving me insane though, using all the same flow. All of you using the auto-tune, no that won't do. Yeah, all of you lying to 9, yeah, that's problem too. Yeah, done with the broken promises, I'ma just vanish. I'ma slide off of panties and I'ma pop all these Z's. But baby, I am a rapper, you know how that goes. Yeah, pussy thrown at me wherever I go. Going toe-to-toe with giants, building my alliance. I'm spitting these facts like I'm building out of science, yeah. And I just want the money and the perks. I'ma buy a new Bugatti so I'm never late to work. I'ma buy a Maserati so I'm never late to church. Pray to God for my enemies, I hope they never learn, I hope it burns. Niggas say you're doing good, now they all concerned. They was eating good, now look how the tables turn. Damn, now look how the tables turn, yeah. Now I'm burning up my bridges, making stupid decisions. They taking shots but they listen. I never stop but I listen. While they just copy the fiction and paste it. My only job is to erase it, I'm losing patience, I know it. I know it. Back on my grind again, yeah, I know I'm gonna lose that
Hey y'all, and welcome to Simply Nick Speaks. The killing of unarmed George Floyd sparked nationwide protests.
You ain't gotta touch me though.
Look at him! Look at him, y'all! Look at him!
Tell me don't touch me.
Mixed speed right here. We got a mixed speed right here. You don't know what he is. No cap. You don't know what he is. Hey. What's up, man? No cap.
Yep, I got a son to get home to.
Many people started to have the conversation in regards to police brutality and the disparities within the criminal justice system that people of color often face. During some of the protests, many of the Confederate statues and monuments around other states were targeted during the demonstrations by protesters. They feel that it is a sign of racism and they wanted those statues to come down. Many protesters across the country felt that statues depicting Confederate soldiers or flags represented a time of racism in America, and they championed for those statues to be taken down. Some resorted in vandalism and snatching them down, while others were removed by the cities themselves. Since George Floyd's death, there have been 104 statues removed across the country.
Here, cheers across the street. Protesters.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, South Carolina still has 98% of their Confederate monuments still standing, with a total of 193 statues. One in particular is on the State House grounds of J. Marion Sims, who is known as the father of gynecology.
James Marion Sims was an American physician and a pioneer in the field of surgery, both known as the father of modern gynecology and as a controversial figure for the ethical approach to developing his techniques. His most significant work was the development of a surgical technique for the repair of vesicovaginal fistula, a severe complication of obstructed childbirth. He is also remembered for inventing Sims speculum, Sims sigmoid catheter, and the Sims position.
Sounds great, but the only problem is he pioneered all of his techniques and tools by working on slave women as young as 17 years old. He did not use anesthesia on them, so he put those women in a lot of pain in the name of science, and it wasn't like it was their choice. They were owned by their masters who allowed them to be worked on. Essentially, they ended up having issues giving birth, and afterwards they were no longer able to successfully get pregnant and have children, which as a slave, that's pretty much the only reason you want to have women slaves, is so that they can bear children and make you more money. So the masters would send them to Dr. Marion Sims, and he would work on them in an effort to try to fix them. He had about 10 different slave women that he used as his experimental subject. Dr. Sims would not be the father of gynecology that he is known today if it were not for the mothers of gynecology, which are the women that he essentially used as his experimental projects. These slave women, they have names, and we know their names to be Anarcha, Lucy, and Betsy. So instead of highlighting the father of gynecology, we should say the names of the women who all of this would not be possible had they not endured such excruciating pain. His first subject was Lucy, an 18-year-old slave girl whom he operated on in front of other doctors as an experiment to try to figure out if he could fix the issue. After that first operation, it took her 2 to 3 months to fully recover. She ended up getting blood poisoning, and even after she recovered, he continued to do his experiments on her without anesthesia. The next mother of gynecology would be Anarcha. She was a 17-year-old slave woman whom Sims operated on over 13 times before he was successfully able to perfect the procedure. It took him a total of 4 years before he was able to really solidify his technique. But over the course of 4 years, there were numerous amount of slave women that he tortured and operated on in the name of science. It just goes to show you that throughout history, Black women in particular have always been looked at as if we don't experience pain in the same way that other people experience pain. J. Marion Sims is known as the father of gynecology, but we never really speak about the mothers of gynecology, which are the women that he used as his test subjects in order for him to perfect the techniques that we know today. So if we're going to celebrate the father of gynecology, it's important that we also celebrate the mothers of gynecology, Lucy, Betsy, and Anarcha. Currently, there are 2 monuments in honor of Dr. Sims, the father of gynecology. One located in Columbia, South Carolina, and the other is located in Alabama. There was one in the state of New York in Central Park. However, they realized the controversy surrounding his practices in medicine, and they decided that it would be best to remove the statue. Which leads me to my point. All the other states so far have at least entertained a conversation in regards to getting rid of some of the statutes that represent racism in America. South Carolina is really unable to have that conversation about removing statutes because of the Heritage Act law. The Heritage Act was established in 2011 as a compromise in order to have the Confederate flag removed from the Capitol Dome. They agreed to remove that flag, but upon that agreement, they came up with the Heritage Act law that prohibits any further removal of any Confederate monuments, statues, flags without a legislative vote. In 20 years, the legislature has only addressed the removal of flags twice, the most recent incident being in 2015, when the battle flag was removed from the State House ground. After the battle flag was removed in 2015, Speaker of the House, Jay Lucas, said that he would not entertain any more debates regarding the removal of Confederate statues while he was in tenure. Sounds to me like he might need to go. He's been in office since 1999. It is now 2020. So for 20 years, South Carolina has not been able to move forward in removing their Confederate monuments and statues. And here we have the Speaker of the House that represents South Carolina who has no intent on addressing the removal of any further Confederate monuments.
House hopes that this will restore the public's faith in elected officials and promote transparency and honesty. We have also made tremendous headway on a bill to fix our roads. Our ad hoc committee has concluded its business, and we have come up with a starting point to invest in our infrastructure.
This is why it's important for us to understand politics and insert ourselves in some kind of way. In order for us to really move forward in the state of South Carolina, we would need to repeal this law preventing the removal of Confederate flags, first and foremost. We need to get better representation into those government spots. We don't have any people of color really representing us, and many of the people that are old, set in their ways. Simply put, the future is in the hands of the younger generation. We can't really progress and make change if we don't first and foremost inform the younger generation of politics. There's a breakdown in the understanding of how politics work. We need more of Black and brown people in politics, simply put, so that we can introduce the laws and the changes that will help us in the long run. We must vote. We must speak out about these different policies and things that do not do us any justice within our communities. So it's important that we have an understanding of the government system and how it works, how Congress works. Each district has a representative that is elected for 2 terms. These are our members of Congress. You can find out who represents your local district by following the website that I'll link below. You can enter your address in, and it will bring up the people that are responsible for your district and the issues of your community. We should start holding these people in office accountable, stop letting them just collect paychecks, and really make them do their job as far as making our communities better. And being for the people. If you represent the citizens of South Carolina, then we're gonna need you to do that. I'm gonna need you to figure out the leaders in your area. Find out what policies they stand for, what they are against, what they are for, so that going forward, we can get the right people in local offices so that then we can push them to a greater level and maybe seek some change. Get to know your local representatives and what they stand for.
Start looking more at people's position on issues rather than whether they have an R or D by their name. We're going to need to be able, when we talk about economic development, to respond to some of those potential people, businesses rather, out there who may have been looking at South Carolina, may have wanted to locate here, who in their right mind would want to come to a state with us in charge. Think about it. It leaves a lot to be desired.
Thanks for watching Simply Neek Speaks.
Yo, you see the shirt? Make sure you holler at our sponsors, Exclusive Multimedia, a media firm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, ran by my homegirl forever. She does a lot of videos and a lot of interactions with artists, man, marketing and everything. So make sure you hit up, follow on the Instagram at this joint right here. You'll see it pop up on the screen, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, check it out. For our next episode, we got an artist all the way from North Carolina, goes by the name of Maurice Liddell. Make sure you tune in next week to check him out in the microwave. The boy going crazy.
Couple niggas making a joke when I mention urgency. Like us not owning our homes ain't an emergency. Like we got time to party when our pockets stretch. Like I got time to celebrate when my mama ain't dead. I just like to see commas on checks. Plus I heard the models start to choose what they hear with the net. It's probably shallow when he got it to really invest. But hell, I heard the girl you love was swallow for less. 2020 came and some mans got revealed. Niggas choke sides and inside got them killed. Ashamed of the build over time, I was real. Probably couldn't patch up all the time bills. Hell, I was watching how niggas move before the fame. Keeping my distance from niggas before Corona came. Shit, I was dreaming of starting before my soul came.
Make sure you check it out, alright? Once again, I keep getting DM'd, I get inbox like, how can we be a part of the microwave? I tell everybody, man, make sure you send us an email, and we will promptly get back to you. The email will be right here, or maybe in the back, or I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's going to be there, man. So get with it. Y'all know what to do.